all fail to get there.
And to underscore the importance of this summit, the Minister of Defense acknowledges the efforts of the military in ending banditry in the north, but agrees special attention must be given to armed forces to bring the fight to a conclusion, a position the Sultan of Sokoto agrees with.
The armed forces of Nigeria, and indeed the security agencies of Nigeria, are committed in ending insecurity, not only in the Northwest, but in the country.
We will be the ones to work for this and end these problems if we so desire. Nobody will come from somewhere to work for us. Nobody will come from the moon to solve these problems. We must solve our problems.
The common challenge facing the 7 states in the Northwest include herder-farmer clashes, kidnapping for ransom, cattle rustling, mismanagement of public funds, and illicit activities including drug trafficking and weapon smuggling.
We must also engage the federal government and international organizations, the development partners, to secure the support and the funding for our initiatives. By presenting a united front, we can attract more significant investment and drive sustainable development across our region. To facilitate regional cooperation, we must establish, and we have established a Northwest Governors Forum that meets regularly to discuss our everyday challenges and coordinate our efforts. These forums serve as a platform for sharing ideas, monitoring progress, and holding each other accountable. We will also consider establishing joint task force to tackle specific issues such as banditry and food security.
The Vice President and Special Guest of Honor, Mr. Kashim Shettima, then reels out federal government plans for the region.
To build pragmatic solutions to our security compromises, we are strengthening collaborations among the services and other security agencies to ensure a unified approach. One of the non-kinetic interventions we have rolled out is the Fulako Resettlement Initiative. We believe it is a timely solution to address some of the root causes of disputes and insecurity in the Northwest. Our choice of Sokoto, Kebbi, Katsina, Zamfara, and Kaduna states, and by including Benue and Niger State for inclusivity for the pilot phase, is strategically planned to create positive nationwide transformations. The comprehensive plan includes building residencies, roads, schools, and essential facilities, fulfilling our pledge to the nation. The President had approved, and we have secured 51 billion naira in our custody. We'll start rolling out the programs in the next couple of weeks.
The submission here is that with proper coordination of the Northwest Regional Security System, coupled with financial backing from the federal government and other practical steps that are being initiated, the decades of insecurity in the region will be on the path of being reversed in no distant time.
Meanwhile, the Vice President Kashim Shettima has described the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Saad Abubakar III, as not just a sultan, but an institution that must be protected by all means. The Vice President said this while presenting his speech at the Northwest Peace and Security Summit in Katsina.
Yes, the Sultan is the Sultan of Sokoto, but he is much more than that. He represents an idea. He's an institution that all of us in this country need to jealously guard, protect, promote, preserve, and project for the good of our nation.
Meanwhile, the governor of Zamfara State, Daud Lawal, says the inaugural Peace and Security Summit put together by the Northwest Governors Forum and the United Nations Development Program will help governors of the region in addressing the hydra-headed security challenges plaguing the Northwest zone.
Addressing the nexus of banditry, extremism, and climate change in Northwest Nigeria resonates with our experiences in Zamfara State. We are suffering from banditry and devastating effect of climate change in Zamfara State as well as other part of northern Nigeria. Your Excellencies, in Zamfara, we're implementing various initiatives to enhance security, revitalize agriculture, as well as promote sustainable livelihood. Key among these include the establishment of Security Trust Fund, establishment of state-owned task force named Community Protection Guard to combat banditry as well as other related crimes in the state and support our neighboring states in tackling these menace. We're strengthening community engagement and social cohesion to address communal conflicts. Education is a priority area, considering its vital role in addressing social, political, as well as economic challenges.
On this part, the governor of Jigawa State, Umar Namadi, believes the summit with the theme Regional Cooperation for Securing Lives and Livelihoods will indeed help the governors of the Northwest region and other stakeholders in developing a template for ending decades of underdevelopment in the region.
It is my firm belief that the event presents a great opportunities for major stakeholders to find and reach consensus on fostering pragmatic solutions for lasting peace and security in the region, for common approaches to the regional cooperation, and for forging effective development partnerships on moving forward with our regional agenda for peace, security, and development. Lasting peace and prosperity in this region and in Nigeria as a whole is a goal we must painstakingly aspire to achieve as leaders. There is no emphasizing the fact that the insecurity situation in this region and indeed other parts of our country has for many years caused immense human suffering at massive social and economic cost, including loss of lives and means of livelihood, as well as reversal of development efforts. Going through the agenda of the two-day event, the way it has been structured, as well as the array and caliber of speakers, moderators, and panel experts, I'm very confident that we are going to be having candid and insightful discussions on the current security situation and the development challenges befalling the region.
Down south, Ogun State Governor Dakwa Abiodun has emerged as chairman of the Southern Governors Forum, while Governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, will serve as his deputy. This was communicated by the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, after the forum's meeting which took place at the Presidential Lodge in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Given his acceptance speech after the meeting, which lasted over 5 hours, the chairman of the forum, Governor Abiodun, promises not to betray the confidence reposed in him and his vice by his colleagues.
I first want to thank all the governors, the 17 governors, for coming to Abeokuta today for this meeting, the first meeting in the last about 3 years. It underscores the commitment and the determination to ensure that the southern states occupy their pride of place. And I also want to thank them for this confidence so reposed in myself and Professor Soludo, and pledge that we will ensure that this confidence is justified. We have discussed a whole wide-ranging number of issues. But because of time constraints, myself and Professor Soludo will make available to you pressmen the details of our communique.
In part two, after the break, former local government chair
Fidelity Bank is pleased to introduce its public offer and rights issue. For just ₦9.75, you can subscribe for a share in Fidelity Bank, and shareholders can exercise their rights with just ₦9.25 per share in the rights issue. Time is ticking, so join us at Fidelity Bank. To subscribe, visit any registered stockbroker or any of the issuing houses to the offer or any Fidelity Bank branch. Offer lasts till July 29th, 2024. For guidance, please read the prospectus or rights circular or consult your stockbroker, fund or portfolio manager, banker, solicitor, or other professional advisors.
We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
Some say learning is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Give your child Bonvita. It contains essential vitamins and minerals that support mental and physical vitality. Bonvita. Prepare them to win every day.
I will show you. Junior, don't do that.
Sweetheart, no matter what you do, we show you love. So you can show more love to everyone.
Mom, how do you show more love to everyone? I will show you love.
Show some more love today with 4 more packs of your favorite Indomie noodles in Indomitable and Super Pack cartons. Also, each Indomitable pack is now 200 Naira, while Super Pack is now 350 Naira. So hurry now. Offer valid till stock lasts.
The future belongs to the dreamers, to the doers, to those who are not afraid of the side hustle. It's for those who are ready to turn their passion into something big. And to help keep you revitalized and inspired, Top Tea is with you every step of the way. You are made for more. Find your inspiration. Top Tea, big round bags of flavor.
The Duchess International Hospital caters to every aspect of the family's health needs. A one-stop shop for maternity and child health services, emergency medicine and critical care, medical and surgical subspecialties, dental and eye care, and a range of other subspecialties and services, all available at a single location right here in the heart of Ikeja. And it really doesn't matter if you're paying out of pocket using your HMO or private insurance. We focus completely on providing that world-class affordable healthcare for all the family at all times.
Nasarawa palaces in the city. Southern governors meet in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, to develop a new roadmap for the region, elect Governor Dapo Abiodun as chairman of the Southern Governors Forum. And Russia blames the US and vows consequences for a Ukrainian missile strike on Sevastopol in occupied Crimea on Sunday, which officials say killed 4 people, including 2 children. Began on May the 23rd this year after Governor Abba Yusuf reinstated Muhammadu Sanusi II and dethroned Aminu Ado Bayero has led to multiple court cases. Aminu Ado Bayero and Baba Babangudi have filed suits regarding human rights jurisdiction and the removal of the dethroned emir and 4 others. Now the Emirates leadership remains in limbo with increased security at the Kufar Kudu Palace and the Nasarawa Mini Palace. Our correspondent Nanchin Vincent reports that the Kano State High Court, led by Justice Amina Adamu, has adjourned the case to July the 2nd for further hearing.
The revered seat of the Emir of Kano State has not known quiet since the reinstatement of Emir Muhammadu Sanusi II after the repealed emirate law assented to by Governor Abba Yusuf brought him back to Kano as the 16th Emir. This move has been resisted by the dethroned 15th Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero.
Sanusi II to receive the reinstatement letter, reappointment letter.
The Kano State Police Command on Monday, June 24, reinforced additional personnel at the Kudu Palace, where Muhammadu Sanusi resides, which was previously guarded by local guards, most of them being hunters, and at the Nasarawa Mini Palace, where dethroned Emir Aminu Ado Bayero resides. Outgoing Police Commissioner Hussein Gumel says this was necessitated by the need to forestall the breakdown of law and order and ensure peace. Meanwhile, the court hearing of a suit filed by the Kano State government to restrain the 15th Emir of Kano and the Emirs of Karaye, Rano, Gaya, and Bichi from parading themselves as Emirs took place on Monday at the Kano State High Court. The plaintiff filed a motion for an interlocutory injunction following the court's grant of an interim order. The first defendant served the plaintiff with a counter affidavit, which the plaintiff was required to respond to. Justice Amina adjourned all applications filed on the present emirate tussle to the 2nd of July 2024. The counsel to Aminu Ado Bayero notes that the decision taken by the judge is to entertain all pending suits on the emirate's leadership.
We agreed to come back on the 2nd of July 2024 for hearing of all applications. No. That is subject to if there is no any other springing surprises.
The counsel to the plaintiff, Attorney General and Kano House of Assembly, also said the adjournment was a welcome development so that they can bring in all applications filed for hearing once and for all.
However, we were served with a counter affidavit by the first defendant, and we needed to respond to it. But as we rightly informed the court by law, even the originating summons is already ripe for hearing. So instead of us to take a date, to hear the motion in piecemeal, we applied that the court abridged time for us and for them to enable us, based on the nature of this case, that the matter all the applications be taken.
In the meantime, the residents and lovers of Kano will have to wait and see how the leadership of the emirate is resolved in line with the laws of the land. From Kano Commercial City, Nanchin Vincent, Channels Television News.
Now, following the crisis currently rocking the local government councils in Rivers State, most of the 21 out of the 23 former chairmen have led protests in their respective councils. The former chairman, who led a sizable number of protesters in peaceful protests through the streets, demanded that the Nigeria police continue their occupation of the various councils, among other demands.
Once again, Rivers State is the cynosure of all eyes, as the political crisis rocking the local governments in the state shows no signs of abating. Today, most of the 21 former local government chairmen in the state, loyal to the FCT minister, are leading protests across their different councils and are making a variety of demands. In Bugoma, council headquarters of Asaritoro, led by George Oningiofori, the former chairman, they marched through the streets, waving placards, singing and dancing before terminating at the council, where they present their protest letter to the DPO, demanding the expulsion of private military contractors, popularly known as Amama soldiers.
We have talked to our people and the community, because most what is happening in the community, what called Amama soldiers, right now they are inside the council property with arms and intimidating the lives of people in the community.
In Abonema, the Akokotoro LGA Council headquarters, it was slightly different, as it was the people of Akokotoro who led themselves on a peaceful protest under the aegis of concerned citizens of Akolga, defying the downpour. They called for peace, urging the police to remain until the court's verdict, in order to avert chaos.
We are aware that Agubutoro for some time has been a flashpoint of political violence. And as a people, we've come out to say the Nigerian police force, whose primary duty is to protect the property and lives of ordinary Nigerians, should continue stay in protecting the council secretariat of Agubutoro local government area.
That everybody should maintain status quo. I believe that we are going to abide with what the court has pronounced. But the governor of Rivers State went ahead to appoint ethical committee.
Elsewhere at Emoa, Port Harcourt and Obiabo local councils, the stories are pretty much the same, as the former chairmen say they are not only asking the police to keep the peace, but are protesting to prevent Nolgi and organized labor from taking the initiative.
The police are here to maintain law and order. Their constitutional responsibility is to protect lives and properties. So when we hear some people wanting to organize themselves to come and cause mayhem, it's also in our place to say, no, we cannot stand and fold our hands to see it happen.
What we did today was not in any way in violation of the police authority. What we did was to be vigilant, you know. We try to avoid a situation where the Nigerian Labour Congress, the TUC, and other affiliate bodies will not sell a dummy to us.
In Gokana, however, the protesters praised the Nigerian police for their efforts, urging all factions to wait for the appeal court's ruling, even as APC stalwart Victor Giadom and PDP leader Kenneth Kobani, leading the protest, urged the governor to conduct elections in the council.
As Gokana people, and as somebody who was democratically elected here in Gokana as local government chairman, we are saying that we will not allow caretaker committee in Gokana local government.
You will see people of all shades and opinions who have come with one sole purpose. We want a peaceful Gokana. We want a Gokana that is not shrouded in the kind of secrecy that we are seeing.
The latest protests are coming on the heels of an advisory against protest by the State Police Command. They, however, show that the political crisis enveloping the state is not letting off anytime soon.
So let's now head to the nation's capital, and Terry Kumi is on standby to give us the very latest from our Abuja studios. Hello, Terry. Great to see you again.
Great to see you as always, Ayo. Now let's start with security issues. Now, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has apprehended 4 suspects in connection with the murder of retired Brigadier General Umem Harold Udokwiri. This announcement was made by the FCT Commissioner of Police, Benneth Igwe, during a press conference at the command headquarters in Abuja, where the suspects were paraded alongside others arrested for various crimes. Commissioner Igwe also declared 2 additional suspects wanted in connection with the murder. He noted that the command has successfully apprehended several notorious kidnappers and their accomplices, including Issa Mohammed, an escapee from Kuje Correctional Center, and their chief informant.
Today and now, I want to inform you that we have gotten the killers of retired Brigadier General Umem Udokwiri Harold, who raided, 4 of them plus the 2 we are declaring wanted are the people that raided the house and killed the general. We have recovered the knife they used in stabbing him, and we have recovered the phone of the general from them. 2 of them that have been declared wanted, we are getting them. They have just left with the gun of the pistol of the general, which I promise you we are going to recover. They have confessed to how they did it one by one and whatever action they did. There are some kidnappers that we have been looking for. We have been to Gauraka in Niger State, Gauraka Forest in Niger State. We have been to Gidandogo Forest in Kaduna State. We have been to Kuyeri Forest in Kaduna State. We have been to Kagaruko Forest and Mountains in Kaduna State. We have been to Sadana Forest in Nasarawa, where we went to chase these kidnappers and in their territory, in their camps, and we have confidently dislodged them.
Well, still ahead on the news at 10, multinational consulting firm PwC forecasts Nigeria's headline inflation to drop marginally to 29.5% by the end of the year due to ongoing reforms by the federal government. That's on Business News. Please join us again.
Everything is fast-paced. How do you remain unstoppable?
Babe, I need some money for groceries. Dad, the cable TV subscription has expired.
What if I told you the key to being unstoppable is now at your fingertips?
Uncle, wait. Uncle, have you forgotten I'm going back to school today? Thank you.
Oga, I beg no forget plumber money.
Oga, we need to buy fuel. Don't let petty transactions limit you. Download the First Money Wallet app or dial *894*1# on any mobile phone and live unstoppable.
Enjoy the unlimited life with First Money Wallet. Dial *894*1# on any mobile phone to activate now. You first. First Bank.
Oh, yeah, I like to know. Stay fresh. You wanna come preach and be my guest? Keep it lighting, okay. All the way up. Lighting, I do make I like to know.
New Rexona Advanced Protection Roll-On. For all-day, non-stop protection from sweat and odor. Keeps on working all day. Stay dry and fresh for longer. Try Rexona. It won't let you down.
Welcome back to the news at 10. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, is again asking Nigerians to partner with the Nigerian Army and other security agencies in the fight against insecurity in the country through the sharing of timely and credible information. Speaking in Abuja at a roundtable on asymmetrical national security challenges organized by the Nigerian Army Resource Center in conjunction with Development Specs Academy, General Lagbaja says security is a society's responsibility which cannot be left entirely in the hands of security agencies.
The position of the army to all forms of threat is that we will work in line with the constitutional provision to combat all enemies of the state and bring about the much desired peace and stability across the country. In the area of asymmetric threats, I know that it connotes different meaning to different people. And that is why the army is open to ideas, is open to opinions from all segments of the society. And that informs this roundtable discussion that has been put together by the Nigerian Army Resource Center and the Development Specs Academy, that the Army is actively supporting, and we will make use of the deliberations and decisions that will come out from this roundtable discussion.
Meanwhile, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, is optimistic that crude oil theft will soon be a thing of the past, as he announces a review of the Nigerian Navy's strategies to combat crime. Speaking to journalists in Abuja, Admiral Ogala said the Navy has acquired new equipment and is better prepared to collaborate with other security agencies to tackle crude oil theft and protect the nation's waterways.
We are addressing oil theft. It would have been worse than this if we just sit down and do nothing. Then if you talk about the collaboration, yes, we can't address oil theft alone. We need the collaboration of all stakeholders because our approach is in line with the modern concept of security, which is whole of society approach. The armed forces, the Navy, cannot achieve national security alone without carrying everyone along. And that's why we cooperate with the communities, we cooperate with all stakeholders, including the operators in the field, to be able to address this particular issue of oil theft. But I think we are making tremendous progress because every day, as I'm talking to you now, we have our ships at sea, more than 12 ships at sea, patrolling the maritime environment. We have our operational bases in the creeks. There's no day that we do not destroy several illegal refining sites and all those activities. So those are the areas what we are doing, and I think we'll continue to review our operations to do better.
Away from security now, President Bola Tinubu says Nigeria remains committed to a balanced approach to energy transition and still requires substantial investment in the oil and gas sector to meet the energy demands and economic needs of its population. Speaking at a meeting with the Group Chief Executive of Standard Chartered Bank, Mr. Bill Winters, at the State House, the President called for a just energy transition that supports vulnerable communities across the nation. Speaking to journalists after the meeting, Mr. Winters lauded President Tinubu's bold economic reforms, noting the international investment community's recognition and support.
Well, we had a very good discussion about the development opportunities in Nigeria, about the brave steps that the government is taking to address some of the economic challenges. These challenges are affecting many around the world, but not everybody has dealt with them as directly as the government of Nigeria is. So our job as Standard Chartered is to help support the economic program of the country, to help restore all the confidence that's appropriate in this fabulous country for international investors, but also for the local business community, to provide financing and to provide finance and advice on how to best position Nigeria for this next chapter ahead. Standard Chartered made a commitment a couple of years back to deliver $300 billion of transition financing. Most of that will go into Africa, South Asia, and developing Asia, where we've been operating for well over 150 years. And the idea there is to provide some of the catalytic capital to help to really accelerate this transition. We recognize that the transition has to be a just transition, so that the people of Nigeria must continue to have the opportunity to develop. And that means an element of reliance on fossil fuels, while at the same time investing in the transition. So these are some of the ideas and some of the concepts that we discussed with the President and with his climate advisors and finance minister and others. These are the opportunities of our time. We think that Nigeria is striking an appropriate balance.
Well, that's it from the nation's capital. Back to you, Ayo.
Many thanks, Terry. To Health Matters, and the Lagos State government has confirmed 579 suspected cases of cholera outbreak with 29 deaths. The State Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, made this known during a multi-agency press conference on cholera outbreak held in Alausa, Ikeja. He says the state government will continue to intensify advocacy across the state on how to stay safe, and has also activated emergency operation centers to curb the transmission. One of the foremost suppliers of ice cream, coffee and tea equipment, Cosmos Trade Nigeria Limited, has graduated his first set of trainees from Gelato and Coffee University after a 3-day program to help them deliver premium services. The Consulate General of Italy, Ugo Boni, who presented certificates to 30 students, say Gelato and Coffee University is an exceptional institution that guarantees quality standard of Italian ice cream and coffee for its wide range of customers.
Cosmos Trade Nigeria Limited, popularly called Gelato and Coffee University, has established itself as the market leader in sales and specialized training in the production of ice cream or gourmet gelato, better known as Italian-style ice cream, coffee and tea. Pioneer students of the university, located in the Antony area of Lagos mainland, have just completed a 3-day training program after an interesting practical exercise with premium products and top-notch equipment.
This was the first, but will not be the last So in the future, we're going to do more trainings. What we will love to teach our customers that you can do gelato with very small machines, very small equipments, very small budget, and you can grow up to reach to big factory to supply a huge quantity.
The Consulate General of Italy in Lagos visits the facility to taste different ice cream flavors and present the Carpigiani Gelato University Certificate of Participation to 30 graduating students of the basic gelato course.
From now on, we can have a very good gelato. Many young people that are learning how to make gelato properly, in the proper way, with the proper ingredients and with the proper machinery, all made in Italy. So I couldn't be more happy.
Royalty also comes calling as the Shon of Ogumosho, His Imperial Majesty Afolabi Gandhi Olaoye, also makes his way in for a taste of the gelato dessert made from mango species from Ogumosho. The facility, the first of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa, also hosts primary school students. The graduating students seem raring to go to recreate the lessons they've learned.
I'm going to use this knowledge to go back and see how I can incorporate gelato in my business and also improve my methods currently in my business.
Cosmos Trade Nigeria Limited has spent 3 decades in the business, providing hospitality services to customers and improving skills of entrepreneurs.
We are not just into gelato, we also do coffee, traditional coffee, we do vending machines, we establish industrial plants as well because our partners are Italian. And we did this because we understood that, first of all, the business is, yes, we have it in Nigeria, but it's really untapped because we can do better. And that is why we brought in this training school to make sure that people get the best of knowledge.
The company believes its continuous revolution keeps customers satisfied. As it says, it aims to remain top in the industry and also to export Ogumosho varieties of mango for its pure flavors that will be sold around the world.
Sims Nigeria Limited, a leading consumer electronics company dedicated to providing innovative and quality products to customers, has announced its partnership with TCL Electronics, a renowned global leader in the consumer electronics industry. In the partnership ceremony here in Lagos, Sims Nigeria Limited and TCL Electronics reaffirmed their commitment to excellence and customer satisfaction through a wide range of high-quality products and a dedication to innovation.
It's the official partnership ceremony and significant milestone for top-ranking executives and staff from Sims Nigeria Limited, a leading name in the consumer electronics industry, and their counterparts from TCL Electronics, also leading consumer electronics brand with a strong presence in the global television market, which operates in more than 160 markets around the world. Please, a round of applause for him. To officially announce their partnership at this press conference, the country manager for TCL in Nigeria, Mr. Alec Jang, says having a strategic partner like Sims will accelerate the adoption of their products and drive the growth of TCL in the Nigerian market.
TCL, we not only assemble the TV, we distribute the TV, we also manufacture the TV panel. And now our panel factory, CISO, is number 2 all over the world, I think just now we mentioned Samsung, is a partner with Sims, okay. But Samsung screen, 40% of the screen is from us. We supply Samsung panel.
The Executive Director Operations of Sims Nigeria Limited, Mr. IKUC, while revealing that the collaboration reinforces their commitment to providing customers with the best-in-class products, emphasizes that Sims Nigeria remains your one-stop shop for top-quality products from global brands.
TCL is a global brand doing a lot of things in technology, and the Nigerian people should not be able to miss out. We bridge the gap by bringing the best of technology to the Nigerian market. Today, TCL, yes, we've come together to do that for Nigerian market as well. But the products are very good. The products are very affordable. In terms of quality, almost second to none. So if you see what they're doing globally, definitely we took notice. They also want to come into the Nigerian market. They had to look out for who's the right partner that will make sure that the products are everywhere that need to be. And Sims was the right partner for CCL. So Sims is always committed to bring you the latest product. At the same time, it's being launched globally at affordable prices and the best of quality.
With this partnership, TCL's electronics range of products will be available at Sims Nigeria Limited digital centers, with the company having a wide network of digital centers strategically spread across the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria.
And now to some business news with Joker Rogers.
Banking, so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thank you, Aya. Today, welcome to Business News. Multinational consulting firm PwC predicts Nigeria's headline inflation rate to drop marginally to 29.5% by the end of this year. It currently stands at 33.69%. In its latest economic outlook on Nigeria released today, the company reports that the decline would be a direct result of ongoing reforms and policy actions by the federal government. Despite the positive projection, PwC highlights key policy considerations that could help stabilize the economy, which include addressing insecurity, inflation pressure points, driving growth through capital market-focused policies, as well as short and long-term focus on sectoral exports. The Kaduna State government has signed a memorandum of understanding with Hebei province of China and CCECC to explore new areas of business cooperation as well as attract investors for partnerships in diverse areas of investment in the state. Governor Ubasani, who led a team of Kaduna State officials to China, says a key aspect of the agreement is to replicate the Hebei Industrial Park in Kaduna State. While in China, the Kaduna State team also held discussions with the president of CCECC, Mr. Chen Xichang, alongside top management of the company at their headquarters in Beijing. Issues discussed during the meeting centered around urban renewal projects and rural infrastructure. The domestic stock market got off to a negative start for the week as the impact of sell pressure on telco giant Airtel Africa and 19 other decliners dented gains from 26 advancers. Dominic Iwiwu has a summary of today's trading activities at the NGX.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. It's the first day of the last trading week of June, and the domestic equities market kicks off in a negative territory with the all-share index dropping 0.44% to close in the red at 99,304 points, with a market capitalization of 56.175 trillion naira. And this is no thanks to the dip in banking stocks, as the banking stock fell 1.04%, all thanks to Tier 1 banks, which closed in the red due to profit taking, and we see the index shading over 1%. Dangote Sugar was also responsible for the negative performance in the consumer goods as it closed 0.44%, and the only green that we see is thanks to insurance, which was the outliner today, thanks to penny stocks dominating the market in terms of price movement. And we see those same penny stocks mostly topping the gainers chart. Not all of them were that lucky though. However, activity was looking good as volume and value trade jumped about 57% and 70% each. It's a low start for Monday. The market closed bearish. Let's hope for positivity tomorrow.
Thank you, Dominic. Now let's take a look at the closing performance of major global stock markets for Monday.
So easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thank you so much, Joker. Russia has blamed the U.S. and vowed consequences for a Ukrainian missile strike on Sevastopol in occupied Crimea on Sunday, which officials say killed 4 people, including 2 children. Here's Simon Pews with other international news in Around the World in 5.
Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Russia has blamed the US and vowed consequences for a Ukrainian missile strike on Sevastopol in occupied Crimea, which officials say killed 4 people, including 2 children. Around 150 more were injured in the attack as missile debris fell on a nearby beach. Russia's defense ministry said the missiles used by Ukraine were US-supplied ATACMS missiles and claimed they were programmed by US specialists. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov called the strike barbaric and accused the US of killing Russian children. He pointed towards comments by President Vladimir Putin, who recently vowed to target countries supplying weapons to Ukraine. Meanwhile, attacks on police posts, churches and a synagogue in Russia's North Caucasus Republic of Dagestan have left 20 people and 5 gunmen dead. At least 46 people were taken to hospital with injuries. 3 days of mourning have been declared in Dagestan, a predominantly Muslim republic in southern Russia, which neighbors Chechnya. The apparently coordinated attacks targeted the cities of Derbent and Makakala on the Orthodox festival of Pentecost, with an Orthodox priest among those killed. A massive factory fire that began after several lithium batteries exploded has killed at least 22 people in South Korea. The blaze broke out on Monday morning at the Arisel plant in Hwasong City, about 45 kilometers south of the capital, Seoul. Local television footage showed large smoke clouds and small explosions going off as firefighters sought to put out the fire. A part of the roof had collapsed. South Korea is a leading producer of lithium batteries, which are used in many items from electric vehicles to laptops. Officials say 1 person has died and dozens have been injured during a crush at an election rally for Rwanda's President Paul Kagame. Campaigning for July's general election began on Saturday, with Mr. Kagame holding 2 rallies in northern Rwanda over the weekend. A statement from the Ministry of Local Government said the crush happened in Rubavu district, where 37 people were injured, 4 of whom were hospitalized with serious injuries. It apologized to the deceased's family, adding that a medical team on site did everything possible. Protests in New Caledonia have flared up once again after 7 pro-independence activists were detained and taken to France for their alleged role orchestrating riots against a controversial voting reform bill. A town hall, police station and several other buildings were set alight across New Caledonia, France's High Commission to South Pacific Territory said. Among those flown to mainland France was pro-independence leader Christian Tien, who on Saturday was charged in connection with riots, looting and arson, in which 9 people were killed. 1 person has died in South Dakota and hundreds of homes have been destroyed in Iowa during flooding in the upper U.S. Midwest. Some rivers in the 2 states reached record high levels as up to 18 inches of rain fell in some areas over the weekend. The risk of storms and floods will persist throughout Monday, the National Weather Service says. Elsewhere, tens of millions of Americans are still living under alerts due to a scorching heat wave.
Now, the emergency order that I signed allows us to start doing that paperwork, but we are not going to wait for the federal government to give us an approval or to collect any of that information. We start taking care of things now and making sure that when we get that done, we'll follow through the process in order to get compensated. Unfortunately, we've already had 1 death from the situation in the state that has resulted from the flooding. And because of respect for the family, I'm not going to share any details around that. All I'm going to say is that I want to remind everybody to remember the power of water.
And Buckingham Palace has said the Princess Royal has been admitted to hospital after she suffered a minor head injury and concussion on her estate in Gloucestershire. Princess Anne is expected to make a full and swift recovery after the incident at her Gatcombe Park estate on Sunday, a statement said. Sources suggest her injury is consistent with an impact from a horse's head or legs, but the cause of her head injury is unconfirmed. A Buckingham Palace statement said she is expected to stay in hospital until later this week as a precautionary measure for observation. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.
Thanks, Simon, and welcome to sports. Let's begin in Douala, Cameroon, where Team Nigeria has increased its gold medal tally at the ongoing African Senior Athletic Championships to 4. The quartet of Justina Eyapobeya, Tima Godbless, Olayinka Olajide, and Tobi Amusho clocked 42.76 seconds to win gold in the women's 4x100 meters final earlier today. The girls beat Liberia and Ghana to retain the women's relay. They have won successively since 2018. Meanwhile, the quartet of Koinsola Ajayi, Ushe Oritse Shekiri, Alaba Akintola, and Godson Brume finished second in the men's 4x100 meters final, narrowly losing out to Ghana, who won gold in a time of 38.46 seconds. To the Euros now, an early Ferran Torres strike gave Spain's second string side a 1-0 win over Albania on Monday as the three-time champions finished the Euros group stage with a perfect record, and the defeats eliminated their opponents. It's the first time since 2008 that Spain have won all three group games at either a World Cup or European Championship. Italy, also in the other game, ensured their European Championship title defense would continue into the knockout stage as Matthias Cagney, as a dramatic 98th minute equalizer, snatched a 1-0 draw against Croatia earlier this evening. Luka Modric looked to have sent Croatia into the last 16 when he became the oldest goal scorer at the Euros history in the second half, but Italy's substitute coiled in the final minutes of added time to leave the Croatians on the brink of elimination. Staying with the Euros now, host nation Germany have been hit with fresh defensive concerns ahead of their last 16 clash with centre-back Antonio Rudiger in doubt with a thigh injury. The German FA earlier today confirmed the player would be in doubts for their tie in Dortmund on Saturday, and coach Julian Nagelsmann will need to find a new partnership in central defence, with Jonathan Tye already ruled out of the last 16 match due to a yellow card suspension. And that's your Sporting Tonight. I'm Kelly. Egiga is back to you today.
Thank you, Kelly. And the main news again. Some high-profile dignitaries, including former President Muhammadu Buhari, Vice President Kashim Shettima, today converged in Katsina for the Northwest Peace and Security Summit, where they all agreed that forging a united front against insurgency is indeed the way to go. Also today, Southern governors met in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, to develop a new roadmap for the region. The governors also elected Governor Dapo Abiodun as chairman of the Southern Governors Forum. And Russia has blamed the U.S. and vowed consequences for a Ukrainian missile strike on Sevastopol and occupied Crimea on Sunday, which officials say killed 4 people, including 2 children. That's the news at 10 tonight. Many thanks for watching.
Hello and welcome. This is Entertainment News on Channels Television, and you already know it's about that time for yet another half-hour ride into the showbiz space. My name is Abide Medero, and today I have for you all is set for Chief Video 2024 as Davido and his bride Chioma trends ahead of their final wedding rites on Tuesday. Kunle Afolayan brings the stage drama to his cinemas with an adaptation of a satire, The Divorce of Lawino and Ocho. Plus, reality television star Prince Nelson is about to break the saying business and family don't mix as he kicks off his record label with his brother as the first signee. Details of all of this and many more on the program today, so don't go anywhere. Well, it's Nigerian singer Davido and his bride Chioma are getting all of the love and attention ahead of their final marriage rites on Tuesday, June the 25th in Lagos, Southwest Nigeria. The duo are actually dominating the trends table with their official hashtag Chivido 2024. The social media spaces are filled with images of the duo, with some celebrities including footballer Victor Osimhen, influencer Very Dark Man and others already flaunting their invitation to the ceremony online. Images of the surprise bridal shower for Chioma are also being shared as the duo gear up for the big day. Big congratulations once more to Davido and Chioma. Well, away from that for a bit now, filmmaker Kunle Afolayan's love for stage drama is beginning to show after many years of him focusing on screen productions and movies. What many did not know is that the acclaimed filmmaker also had short stints on the stage and loves the art almost as much as he loves film. So he has co-produced an adaptation of the poem The Divorce of Lawino and Ocho, which was performed at his Cap Cinema over the weekend. Here are some highlights from that event.
Filmmaker Kunle Afolayan's Cap Cinema is repurposed into a theatre as he hosts his first stage play.
Woman, with whom to share my husband. I am glad. I am happy to compete for the man's love at the cooking place and the love man.
Music and acting combines as the filmmaker, who has of course made a couple of stage cameos as seen in some Bolanley Austin Peters production, co-produces along the famous Crown Troupe a stage adaptation of the poem.
You went to school. Correct. You read books. Check. You dressed